What do you mean, go get your guns right now? What?
Ah, so that's what pegging is.
I'm going to go sit in the airlock 10 hours later.
Has anybody tried to tap the ship? You know, ting, 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 ting.
What does it mean for a signal to be decomposed into frequencies? Let's go over it.
There is no linear time.
Yep, that's the same thing. This is the first scene of the movie, and my question is, could this really happen? Could it really happen that two alien species encounter each other and we don't just go to war?
This is from a site in Hokkaido.
This is worldwide. It is happening.
If this is some sort of peaceful first contact, why send 12? Why not just one?
So you're saying there would be war between us and the aliens?
That's my hunch. That's my guess. So I guess, okay, broadly speaking, there's two scenarios when we encounter aliens. Either we go to war or we don't. That's super broadly. And so my question is, what is the scenario in which we don't go to war? And what are the scenarios, plural, in which we do?
Okay, I think there's broadly two scenarios. One is there's a huge difference in tech between the two species.
Okay.
And then the other scenario is the tech is at parity.
Parity. Maybe somebody's better at one thing, but the other people are better at the other thing. So then it kind of balances out.
And then I think in terms of probability, if we were to encounter aliens in the real universe, the likelihood that there's parity in tech is, I think, really, really small.
Almost nothing.
I think it's almost going to be, there's always going to be a difference that's pretty large, I would expect.
I think the same thing. And the reason I've argued that to people is look how our technology has increased in just the last couple hundred years. So if somebody encountered us before the Industrial Revolution versus somebody now, they are encountering vastly different human abilities.
Mm-hmm. And that's only like 1,000 years, couple thousand years, maybe, which is a blink of the eye in the universe terms.
Yep.
So, gosh.
Well, my follow-up question to you is, you just said there's two scenarios, one where the technology differences are large, and there's one where there's close. In the large case, is that peace or is that war?
So my first instinct is that it is entirely determined by the more advanced species. If the more advanced species wants to, war is a too strong of a term. It's like if the more advanced species wants to destroy the less advanced species, they're destroyed.
If they want to destroy, you mean like wipe them off the face of their planet? Right?
Yeah, I think it's just they're gone. Like, nothing you can do. And then if the more advanced species wants peace, then there's peace.
Okay.
They entirely determine the interaction.
Yep.
I think, right?
I agree with the caveat of humans don't like being subservient to other species. like I think if aliens come in and they're like, we could destroy you at any moment, I think we need to roll over and show our bellies, right? But also we would build underground networks and be like, we don't like this. We need to steal tech. We need to develop our own tech. We need to find out what their weaknesses are. And even if it takes 100 years or 1,000 years, like humanity needs to come out on top. Like we don't want to be subservient to some alien species for all of humanity, for all forever. Like, no. We're not doing that, right? And so I think what that means is that alien species, the superior species, would have to keep their foot on our necks like all the time, because otherwise we're not gonna stand for that.
Gosh, so so you're saying the advanced species, if they are more advanced, so they determine the interaction, but if they don't have the tech to monitor us all the time, we could do an underground movement and rebel.
Right? Either they don't have the tech, or they buy our trust so completely that we can sneak behind them.
Mm-hmm. Gosh, so that's like a scenario where they are way more advanced, but not so advanced that they can't control us.
Right.
So in that scenario, maybe there's a window where we start out with a huge tech difference, but we catch up rapidly, and then we can fight. Maybe there's war in that scenario. I could also see a situation where the tech is so outstripping us that they're like, look at these humans. I can clearly see you scheming. Stop it.
Stop it.
Clearly see you scheming. Stop it.
Like when you see the chimps in the zoo, like you're looking at that door way too often, and you're gathering rocks to attack me when I walk out. Like, I know what you're doing. No.
What you're doing.
Yeah.
And even if the chimp gets through the door, he's still going to get caught.
Right. Yeah. Even if humans attack the alien overlords on Earth, what are humans going to do? We're going to go to the moon, and then the aliens like come in with a whole fat fleet. What are we going to do?
What are we going to do? Yeah.
And then there's the other scenario that you said where the two species are comparable. Is that war or is that peace?
Gosh, I think that's almost always war.
I think so.
Because you encounter another species with the exact same technology level as you. How can you build trust? If you can take out the other species and they can take out you, and they can defend you and we can defend against them, I just don't see where, I don't know, paranoia takes over. And it's like, well, if we don't take them out now, they're going to take us out.
Yeah.
And so somebody attacks. There's just not enough trust. There's not enough understanding. And so it's kind of attack. And the first one to attack may have an advantage. So you're kind of incentivized to attack immediately. So it just feels like it's always going to be war.
I think so, especially if you think about why would a species leave their planet? Well, they're expansionists. Either their planet is going to be destroyed or they are worried about their planet being prone to asteroids or something. So they're expansionists. So, well, if they're expansionists and we're expansionists and our boundaries are running into each other, well, that's a conflict. Like, why would we just say like, let's draw the lines where we are? Like, we're good here. Like, I don't think that's a realistic scenario.
Gosh, I think if you could create a line of communication that is trustworthy, then I think you could come to some scenario like that. I just don't think you can build the trust. That's the thing. Like, you don't know what their intentions are.
How did you find out? Who is extra evil, and then we have to band together. We're both of us are against the ropes, and then we have to band together against a third guy, and a third guy we completely destroy, but only with our teamwork. Maybe that could build a bond.
Gosh, so in that scenario, you build trust with the second group because you need to, but then as soon as you defeat the third group, then you're going to fight. Like, I just don't. I mean, that's like World War II.
World War II, right in the Cold War. Yeah.
So
yeah, I don't know.
I mean, it literally has
this.
happened where, it's just conflict. I don't see how that's not avoided.
I think the only way to avoid it is for us to be the technologically superior group. We just outclass everyone that we possibly encounter. Then we get to have the encounter on our terms.
Yeah, assuming though we've come up with some higher ethics where alongside the advanced technology, we come up with some ethics that makes us treat other species well. Then
we keep them well. We keep them healthy and happy and well fed and fulfilled, but on their planets, basically a zoo. But I guess I'm not defining. If we wipe out another species, I'm not calling that peace. Like, I guess that is, it's a short war and then peace on either side. Ooh, that's the last.
It's technically some kind of peace, but I'm saying if there's
no
violence,
peace for humanity in the long run. Just wipe out other species.
Yeah, just wipe out other species.
If another species is listening to us right now, we are making a joke. We're totally 100%
making a joke. We're peaceful.
We are peaceful people, but this movie called it "Go Get Your Guns Right Now."
The ATF has put a temporary ban on new gun licenses, forcing many independent suppliers of firearms to close their doors to the public.
What do you mean, go get your guns right now? What
do I mean by go get your guns right now? So in this movie, Arrivals, aliens show up, and then people are panicked. They run to the gun stores to go get gun licenses, and the government shuts it down. The ATF, alcohol, tobacco, and firearms. They shut down new gun licenses and then shut down stores. Because they don't want people rioting. They don't want people being dangerous. They don't want people having guns. And I think this is like a reasonable prediction of what would happen if aliens landed. Like gun restrictions, harsh, immediate, control that stuff.
Gosh, I had the opposite idea because I thought this was a dumb move because I was like, get the guns out to the public, get them out. So
okay, yeah.
It's like, you may have like an increase in violence, but you also get an increase in like everybody's armed to the teeth.
Right.
So if
you militiaize your entire species.
Mm-hmm. Because you don't know what's going to happen, and not everybody has the ability to defend themselves if necessary. Like, it's okay, right?
I agree if it's to the point where you need like every person with a rifle get ready to defend. But I think up until that point, then the government wants control. Like, government wants people to be orderly and neat, so that way the government can maneuver and do whatever it needs to do with its troops or whatever. Like, I don't want to be running military operations while a city is rioting. Like, I don't want to mess.
Does a society having guns, though, in an alien invasion mean there's going to be like riots in the streets? Is that necessarily a consequence of having guns?
I suspect that they're not causal. I suspect that there would be riots anyway. Just chaos and uncertainty. Just like in COVID, how we didn't have riots, but like people swarmed after toilet paper. Like, what was going on? Who would have predicted that? And so when you have these global issues like pandemics, or in this case, aliens showing up, people get weird. People get hoardy. People get territorial over resources. And so in that case, you don't want people to having guns because then things get violent. And then also for like during BLM stuff, people rioted and they were like violent riots. So even for non-global issue wide stuff, not supernatural alien stuff, people riot, people get violent. And so I can imagine the ATF being like, shut that down. Government control, freedom's gone. Stop the guns.
Gosh, then don't you bring in a risk of the government overreaching and getting violent on the people, and the people are like, I got no recourse.
Exactly. So the government overreaches temporarily to handle the alien stuff, but then people are like, oh, I trust the government. I don't have guns. And the government's like, this is how it's staying. So that's an argument in favor of go get your guns right now.
Right, especially if they're stopping new arms sales in this scenario in Arrival, it doesn't mean they're necessarily confiscating guns that are already out there, especially if they're unregistered. Right. So that means go get your guns now. So if something goes down and start confiscating weapons, you have yours ready to roll. Because if you need to do something with your gun, you can. It's always an option.
Just have the option around. But take the safety classes, take care of it carefully, lock it up, and all that stuff. Also,
tear gas. Definitely get tear gas. Not tear gas. Yeah. What is it? Pepper spray and all those? Non-lethal, so you can just, take care of business without going lethal. Get all that stuff in line before the crisis goes down. So if they start confiscating stuff, you're ready.
We do a whole episode on this? Maybe later.
A whole episode on what? Gun rights?
Yeah, let's change our channel.
Semi-stable guns. Colonel Weber's expectations of translation are off the charts.
You did some Farsi translations for Army intelligence? I have something I need you to translate for me.
Where did you come from?
What do you make of it?
How many?
2. Assume they were not speaking at the same time.
Now,
so how would you approach translating this? Do you hear any words? Phrases?
I don't know.
So what can you tell me?
I can tell you that it's impossible to translate from an audio file. I would need to be there to interact with them.
Wait, so what's the objection?
So she did some Farsi translation, which is a living language. People speak it today. There's dictionaries and helpful tutorials online to learn. So she can look stuff up. And he's like, you did some Farsi translation. Here's some random noises. Do you hear any phrases? Come on now. You're a professional. Like, what? What is this?
Here are some sounds that are not recorded anywhere in human history. Like, tell me what you hear from this. Like, I heard nothing. Like, is that a truck? It's like, what am I listening to?
What is that?
Yeah, she doesn't even know what this is a recording of. Like, it really could be a construction site, just like some engine going. I hear a Model 750. Like, I don't know.
She knows there's aliens at this point, right?
True. And some guy from the army showed up.
So she can sort of guess maybe this is the aliens talking. Maybe, but
it could be the ship.
This could be a blind.
It could be sounds coming out of the ship. She doesn't know that. She doesn't even get video with this. It's just an audio recording.
It's just like,
let
me pull out my alien English dictionary. Like, it's not. There's nothing.
I don't have anything to reference. I can't Duolingo this.
You can't. It's unbelievable. What is he expecting? Plus, I think she's a linguist, so she's learning living languages and translating between them. She's not I don't know what the correct term is, a cryptologist?
Audio crypto something?
cryptolinguist, where somebody is
Ew.
taking a language that you have no context for and trying to decipher it.
Fully decode it. Yeah.
I mean,
Decipher
even with
that.
is the Rosetta Stone was a big thing because it was a stone with 3 languages on it. So they could get a reference for translating between, it was like Egyptian, Greek, and something else. And so historians could like use the Rosetta Stone to translate between 3 languages, and that could be the base to translate other texts.
Oh.
But without the Rosetta Stone, you just throw some Egyptian in front of somebody, like, what does it say? It's like,
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Like,
what are these symbols? Cats are important, I guess. Like what?
Yeah. There's a cat. I see a cat. That's a cat.
That's it. That's all I know.
I guess that's all I know. Gosh. His expectations, it's just unbelievable.
Did she not know what her job was?
We never formally met, but 2 years ago you did some Farsi translations for Army intelligence. You made quick work of those insurgent videos.
You made quick work of those insurgents.
Okay, so what's the problem? She did some translating.
She did some translating. So she did some translating for military intelligence. I guess he's the army, so army intelligence. And then you said, thanks for translating this stuff. And she's like, oh, I'm disappointed. I had a bad experience. But what was her bad experience? Her bad experience was the military guys gave her some Farsi messages, and then she decoded it and handed it back to the military guys. Military guys were like, this is information about insurgents. So we have an issue. And then they went and handled the issue. And then she's upset that the work that she did that was like pure and intellectual. I'm just translating stuff. Well, if you decode that there's some locations to an IED and you hand that off to the military guys, and the military guys are like, well, let's take out that IED. You did your job. You did your job, and it was to stop terrorist stuff. Isn't that good? Why is she upset about that? And did she not know what she was translating when she translated the message? That was like, oh, plant the bomb here at 1700 hours. Plant the bomb? Like, what did you translate?
So what you're saying is her like response, you made quick work of those insurgents, is like dripping with judgment.
Right.
But it's like if you're
those
translating something and it's like they're talking about bombs and blowing stuff up, like what did you expect the army to do?
That's what the army does. Right? If they say like, these terrorists are setting up camp here, and the army takes out the terrorists, like that's what their job is. And that's what your job is by extension when you work for them.
So why is she coming in with this judgment? She's like, I didn't do any killing. I just did the translation.
I just translated. I thought I was translating children's books. Well, like the children's books weren't children's books. They were like how to make weapons.
Gosh, and if she believes that they're psychos, like she translated a children's book and it's like, Mommy went to the kitchen and cooked a meal for me. And then she's like, you killed them. Like, what are you doing? This is a little psycho walking into her office.
That's right. She needs to get out.
If she thinks
if she thinks that he killed like innocent people, get out.
Get out. Like, don't no longer work with him. This is crazy.
Oh, but she's like, but he has an opportunity to advance my career because I want to talk to the aliens. I'll talk to you. Hang out. Come on, sit down. Come on, sit down.
It's worth it. So I can distance myself from the bad people. I can distance myself from the terrible things that need to be done. I can still do the translation and get that collaboration money with the army.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
and I'll talk to the aliens. And I feel good because I'm judging everybody. Hell yeah.
Right?
Hell yeah.
This is like the perfect defense for everything wrapped up in her mind right there.
Perfect. Civilization is built on the field that I study. Don't you know?
Language is the glue that holds the people together. It is the first weapon drawn in a conflict. It's the foundation of civilization.
Dazzle them with the basics.
Even if it's wrong, the cornerstone of civilization, which is science.
What do you mean it's my field?
Okay, so Dr. Banks here wrote a book, and she says in her book, the cornerstone of civilization is language. Turns out that's the field of study that she studies.
Oh,
and then the counter by the physicist is like, no. The cornerstone of civilization is science. Happens to be the thing that I study.
It's just ego stroking.
Like, what are we doing?
Yeah. It's like I do IT, and it's like the cornerstone of all civilizations is their information structure. Like that's how they communicate to each other. That's the thing, my thing.
And they're like, well, what about when they were passing around clay tablets back in the day? It's like, no, that's
technology.
information going around. In some sense, clay tablets was the first IT. It's the glue.
My field is the important one.
Because it's clearly false. It's clearly false because science came after civilization. I guess you could argue about the definition of science, but like when I'm thinking science, maybe there's some Greeks in there, but I'm thinking like scientific revolution, 1500s, 1600s. Civilization existed before that.
That's right.
And then for language, there's multilingual societies. So if there's societies that are multilingual, how is language the thing that's gluing the society together? It's fracturing that society.
That's right. They would fracture them. That's right. If you have a trilingual society, if the language is the glue that holds them together, no, you don't have a trilingual society. You have 3 separate societies.
Right. So it's like Switzerland. You're no longer to be a country because your glue is broken. Like, no, they can be a country.
They can be a country. Okay. But in the defense of Dr. Donnelly, the theoretical physicist, there is an argument with a real loosey-goosey definition of science. Because like, in order for a society to grow, to blossom, you need to get beyond the hunter-gatherer phase. You need to get into agriculture phase, which means you're planting seeds and doing experiments and, I don't know, grafting. Maybe that's totally like viable without like laboratory skills. And so maybe there's a reach there, but you have to get real loosey-goosey with the idea of science.
Gosh, because science is like experimentation, hypotheses.
That's right. Theory, hypothesis, stuff. Prediction. Yeah.
All right, this kind of stuff. Like, I got an idea. Let's go to the universe or nature and actually experiment on it and see if my theory matches the universe. Versus, I think when we did agriculture as humanity, it was more of like a guess and check situation, maybe.
Yep.
Less scientific. They weren't so worried about theory, which I guess you could argue is some kind of science in some kind of way.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, did we turn wolves into dogs through science, or we're like, hey, that dog seems to be really friendly. Let's keep that dog around. That dog seems to be really fast. I want a friendly, fast dog. Let's put that together. Like, is that science? Or is that guess and check?
A lot of science is guess and check in the modern day anyway. It's not. It's super true. So
we don't talk about it, but it is pretty true.
So basically, whatever your field of study is, you just loosey-goosey the definition of your field of study and just use that as the cornerstone of civilization.
Right. I mean, society didn't really start until the WWE was founded.
I mean, okay, wrestling and sport are a big glue that holds people together. I mean, lots of civilizations around the world have built these big stadiums.
I was trying to troll, but you're right.
And wrestling is a big part of that. And if you think about it, WWE is like the latest incarnation of that kind of sportsmanship.
That is true. Without that sportsmanship, people would just go to war and kill each other.
That's right. So it gives that outlet for competition within society. It holds society together. Thank you, WWE and The Undertaker.
Without The Undertaker, we'd fall apart.
We'd fall apart. I think Dr. Donnelly got it wrong here.
No, we think it's for us. The air doesn't seem to circulate inside the chamber, so after about 2 hours, we run out of oxygen.
It doesn't take 18 hours to pump fresh air into a room.
If their atmosphere is different from Earth, it would certainly take hours to rebalance the O2 content and pressure for us every time they open their door.
So you're saying they could suffocate us if we wanted?
Okay, wait. What are we talking about, and what did he get wrong?
So I think what they're talking about, there's a chamber in the spacecraft, and they're talking about equilibrating the gas inside the chamber with the atmosphere outside.
Okay.
The non-scientist is like, isn't that easy? Like, there's atmosphere outside.
Yeah.
There's atmosphere that's not quite atmosphere, like Earth atmosphere inside the chamber. Just equilibrate. It should take no time at all.
Yeah.
But the doctor
theoretical
here,
physicist,
he's like,
Dr. Donnelly. Yep.
Dr. Donnelly. He is like, no, it would take hours to equilibrate. Like, I just don't think that's true. If I have,
that's right.
If I have a chamber that doesn't have an atmosphere, can't I just open? I can open the door, let the air rush in, and now I've got an atmosphere.
Yeah.
That didn't take hours. That took 5 seconds.
Even if I had like my kitchen full of, I don't know, whatever oil in the air from whatever is cooking, if I open that up to the living room, that mixes.
And if I have like engineered devices to help me mix, like a fume hood or like a fan.
Or fan.
Mixing is quite quick.
Right? Heck, get someone down there with like a paper fan, like whoosh, whoosh. That'll mix.
Yeah. That'll mix. I mean, that's exactly right. When we're cooking and there's smoke or something in the kitchen, what do? We open a window.
Open a window. It handles it. Yeah, so
Why
you're saying the
take-
theoretical physicist is like, it's going to take hours, but then like the everyday man that works at the government, he's like, why would that take hours?
Right.
So actually,
He's like, "You're the
the
expert."
non-scientist got it right.
He got it right. And then he like asked the physicist, like, why would this take so long? And he's like, no, it'll take hours. I know, I'm a physicist. And he's like, well, okay. But the non-scientist guy's intuition is correct.
Okay. The only way I can make this make sense in the movie is if there's something that's super toxic for the aliens that's in the Earth's atmosphere. So when it gets in, they're like, we need to clean that out. And to get a particular type of atom like fluorine or whatever, like that's like a molecule. Get fluorine out of there. That could be hard to filter. But no. They have their own
separated by
separate
glass.
room.
That's
right.
Sealed.
Yeah, they don't need
sealed.
to mix the air because they have their own air chamber behind them that they live in.
Right. So they have two separate chambers. One with the tetrapod?
Heptapod.
Heptapod.
Yep.
7. Heptapod chamber and the human chamber are totally separate. So they can
Don't
have
need to
different
mix.
atmospheres. If they're poisonous, doesn't matter.
Yep.
And then if you did want to go between them, we have an airlock.
Yeah, just build a little airlock.
Build a little airlock, and you can move between it.
And if they're so concerned about humans having oxygen, humans can just bring our own oxygen. Got gas tanks.
Well, gas tanks. What it was. And if you go through an airlock, it's not like I'm gonna go sit in the airlock. 10 hours later, now I can go through.
Airlocks are fast.
It goes fast. The only reason it just doesn't make sense. Why would it take so long?
This feels like the theoretical physicist saying like, I've heard of this principle somewhere, and I hear data in front of me. I'm just going to throw it out. I'm going to slap it out. I'm going to paper mache my understanding of things onto it.
You know, now that I'm thinking about it, the chamber that the humans are in, even though the gravity changes, is open.
Open.
That means the air is just whooshing up.
Yeah, sure. Why not? Okay, I thought about that too. And maybe there is some diffusion, some stratification, some separation. And so you get like light particles, like hydrogen collecting at the top. Maybe like that. But couldn't you just blast it all out with some fire? Bust it. Boom. Evacuate. An explosion. And then suck and then after the explosion, there's a vacuum. And then you suck in new air, fresh air from the outside world. Wouldn't that solve it?
Gosh, gravity is down on Earth.
Yep.
And it's not like if you go to the top of the mountain, the composition of the atmosphere changes that much.
It's true. It's pretty uniform.
It's pretty uniform. It does change eventually, but it's pretty uniform. In the ship, they have gravity going sideways and down.
That's right.
Right. So there's random diffusion and the jostling of all the particles. So even if you had some some separation due to the gravity being sideways, there's going to be vertical mixing.
I think so.
That if there's like a buildup of CO2, it's going to diffuse out of the chamber because it's open.
Right. There's statistical fluctuations from statistical mechanics. Like there's just going to be mixing.
So it's essentially an open window. Oh. And I don't see why.
That's why it feels like it's a reach. It's like a hard reach from the theoretical physicist. The pattern is that every 18 hours, the door is open for 2 hours, and then everyone gets kicked out. Theoretical physicist is like, must be an oxygen thing. Is it?
Is it? We got loads of oxygen outside. He's just making stuff up.
And he's like, I'm the intellectual authority in the room. This must be right. And everyone's like, oh, I guess so. You're a theoretical physicist. Yeah, dude. I don't think you got that right.
The guys that stay outside have tanks. What? Why?
Which guy? Okay, I see this picture here. The orange guys. The orange guys on the scissor lift. They go up inside the thing.
They go all up inside.
And you're saying these guys, the green cloaks, they don't go in.
Yeah. So they're standing outside right now. They have, I don't know, the suit with self-contained breathing. They have a gas tank.
Okay. That's scuba.
I think it's scuba. self-contained underwater breathing apparatus. This is a self-contained
above water
scaba.
Breathing. Okay.
Okay, so they have these tanks, which means they're anticipating they're going to be in an atmosphere that's either unbreathable or they'll be in like something that they can't breathe, like underwater. Sure. So let's see if they ever go into an environment that needs supplemental air. So over here, I see that they're in the...
I think they don't. I think these guys with the oxygen tanks and the masks that would help them breathe, I think these guys stay outside the whole time.
They stay outside. Yeah, so here they're like helping the orange guys get into the truck, little sports staff, and then we keep going. Here they are on the back of one of the trucks on the way to the ship. And then we see the orange guys on the scissor lift coming up, and they're just down on the ground.
All the green guys stay down there.
Yeah, is it dangerous underneath the ship? Why are they?
Yeah, why do they need oxygen tanks?
They're just chilling.
Yeah. If anything, you think these guys could just breathe the green cloaks? You think that they could just stand outside and not need oxygen? But it's really the orange guys that need the oxygen. These guys should have tanks on. So? I don't think they do.
Unless they think there's like toxins like falling out of the chamber here. But do they think that? Because if there's like toxins like spewing out of this thing, it's like, let's make our base a little bit further away.
That's right. Well, let's make the command post farther away.
Farther away. Things spewing toxins everywhere. Then it would make sense. But yeah. It didn't make sense. These guys are...
I'm down for a little bit excessive safety because aliens here. We don't know what's going on here. A little bit extra safety, fine, do you think? But then the orange people that are going inside the ship, they should also have their tanks.
Okay. So I think you pointed this out to me. Do they have tanks, but it's inside the orange suit, sealed up?
That's right. That's a good point. Okay. So maybe, good point. So these guys who are hanging outside, maybe they just need air supply. But the people that are going inside, you don't know what's going to touch their suit, or if it's going to be, dust, dirt, radioactive, like dust, I don't know, something. You want these orange suits, these outside suits to be like trashable. You can throw them away. If you have these exposed suits, these exposed scuba gear, then if something lands on it, you got to throw the whole thing away. It's better to just put on your poncho that's on the outside that's visible to us. Maybe there's oxygen tanks underneath here.
Okay, so what we're saying is the orange suit is completely sealed, and if there's anything that accumulates on the outside of the orange suit, well, when you go to the airlock or the decontamination zone, you just throw the whole suit away, burn it,
throw it away.
It's gone.
Yep.
And then the equipment inside the orange suit is clean.
Yeah, I guess if it's particulate or bacterial or fungal, I mean stuff that can fly around in the air. If it's like radiological, probably just punches right through it.
Doesn't that mean that just the green guys should just be in orange suits? And don't send so many. If you believe it's a dangerous situation that there could be accumulation of toxins, radioactive crap on a suit, they're assuming that accumulation only occurs inside the ship.
That's a bold assumption.
In which case, if you don't know exactly, put everybody in orange, even the guys that are on the ground.
Yep.
And then you can just throw away their suits. The equipment is...
I mean, heck, if you want to color code them, which I'm down for, it feels like astronaut stuff, then just have them in their own green suits, but that covers the gear. So the same suit, just different color.
Different color. So then you know who's who, what's what. But because it seems like they've created this safety with the green guys, with a self-contained breathing apparatus for safety, but then they didn't take the same safety precautions as the orange guys. So they're like, well, you're beneath the ship, so you're not going to have accumulations. But like, how do you know that? Why are we taking so much precaution at all then?
Yep. Wild inconsistency.
Weird.
Vibes.
Weird. I drew a vector field for how gravity changes as they go into the ship. Okay, throws the glow stick. Falls sideways. They do some floaties. From floaty to sideways.
Floating is sideways. Okay. So in here, there's the direction change in the gravity, and you drew a vector field to represent it.
Exactly.
Okay.
So my question was, how does gravity change from down to sideways?
Okay.
And I think the floatiness is the key. So the first picture here is at the bottom of the picture.
This is real space. So we go up into the ship.
Yeah. So below the ship is down. That's regular gravity. And then the vector doesn't change size, but it rotates to the left. I think this is wrong.
Oh. Okay. Why do you think it's wrong?
Because of the when they're floating, they get up to a certain height and then they like float.
Floaty represents low G.
Low G. Because if it was sideways, they wouldn't float. They would get flung to a side.
I see.
So I think the left picture here is the correct one. So below the ship, gravity is down, and then that slowly turns off to zero.
It's weaker. Okay, there. Yeah.
Weaker. And then it turns back on to the left.
Yeah.
So there's a zone where there's zero G, no gravity, which they're almost there when they do that floaty business.
I see. So the scissor lift comes up to here. Gravity's turned off, and then they can do that leap, and then the gentle rotation and land on their feet.
Yeah.
Cool.
So I think this is how the gravity turns on. That's nice and clean and smooth. It's great. Great tech.
No herky jerky, like sudden slam to the wall. No.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
I like it.
Yeah. So there were some clues there as to how the gravity vector field actually looks.
This is an unnecessary danger. What are we doing?
Grab him.
Okay. This.
Dr. Donnelly, you good?
Looks pretty safe to me. He didn't break a bone.
He didn't break a bone, but he could have got a concussion. And now you got your lead theoretical physicist of the entire project, concussion on the ground. What are we doing? Let's just build a ramp. Right? So imagine this. You get the scissor lift coming up, I guess, towards the screen. And then on the end, you attach a little gate. You get up into the zero gravity area, and then you drop the gate. And just walk down. Right? Oh, what are we doing this jump in the air stuff?
You could even put a little handrail on there to help guide you
and
as you were in that little floaty zone.
The alien landed in like the middle of a farm. Like whoever the owner of the farm is, like farm guys are good at welding. Like they've got trailers around. They can just cut this off, little cut off wheel, and then weld this onto the scissor lift. Just weld it on there. Little rotating pin. That would be easy for them to do. Like, what are we doing? What are we having our scientists leap in here for theatrics? What are we doing?
Hell, even a bunch of the enlisted guys are probably farm boys. Put them on the case.
That's right. Heck, you can even just get a guy here. There's like, you don't go deep into the ship and talk to them. You just stand here and give me a hand. Help me out. Help me across. What are we doing?
Okay, so maybe first time they do it, it's like they don't know what they're getting into, so they don't have anything built up. They're just jumping. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Although, why they felt to jump, they'd be like, "Oh, I'm falling up."
Yeah.
But once they figured it out, it's like, okay, let's get a ramp, let's get a railing, let's get a few things going, because we don't want to be jumping. We bring a new person in, now they have to jump. What a pain. And then what if they're floating back down onto the scissor jack, and somebody misses? Now they're falling.
That's right. So if you have a ramp, you could just walk onto the platform. If you don't, you jump. And if you jump and you don't hit this, especially when it starts getting full, like if you're like the sixth person to get in here, you got this tiny little box, the tiny little window that you got to land into.
That's right.
There's a possibility that you miss. You hit all the way to the ground. That's like 30-foot drop right to the ground. Like, why? Why did this happen? Because we couldn't get a ramp?
Right. Somebody jumps a little too fast. He's a little bit too heavy.
An off angle.
It's a little too crowded. People are like, get on here. And they like miss him. He falls down.
Oh no, 27 years of education, like splat on the ground. What are we doing?
Safety. This green guy's just sitting down there doing nothing.
Doing
so
nothing.
Many green guys.
Getting paid. Get your paycheck. Get that bag. Do something.
You're in the most important, project for humanity. He's like, I'm just here for a paycheck, bro.
I'm just here for a paycheck. I'm waiting for these orange guys to come back. You got what are they doing? They're sitting around not thinking about better improvements. Got plenty of time. 2 hours.
I just work here. I just work here.
I just press the button that makes the scissors left go. I just drive the car to get these eggheads up.
That's right.
Also, the aliens are annoying. I guess. Yeah. Okay. So in Arrival, the big old ship, the shell they call it, big old ship comes down to the ground and stops at like 30 feet away. 20, like 9 something meters. But why? Like, I imagine that these aliens are going around to different planets and interacting with different beings, different species, and so why hover above the ground when some of these species are not going to have scissor lifts?
It doesn't really make any sense. If the aliens want to interact with the people,
whatever alien species, yeah,
like in the old movies, just
a little slow extension, yeah.
People can walk up,
walk up, or they walk down.
They come all this way. They traverse interstellar space. They get all the way into the atmosphere. We're gonna hover just a little bit above the ground, and make it super inconvenient for you.
Is it a test? Is it like, if you don't have the ability to get up inside our ships, then we don't want to talk to you?
Which means, okay, if that's true, that means the test has to be dialed into each species.
Because what if you landed on a giraffe planet and they just poke their head in? They're like, "Why are you guys in here?
Yeah, what's going on?
You guys come out?"
Yeah. Or like a low gravity planet, and it's like everybody can leap like 100 feet in the air. It's like, well, now it's 300 feet. So now I'm hovering just above.
But if that's true, that means that they're doing it on purpose to be challenging, to be difficult. It's like that dinner guest that comes in who's not a vegetarian but asks for a vegetarian meal. Like, what are you doing? Okay. Another option is they can come out of the ship. Because you're going to encounter other species that don't have scissor lift technology, which means the aliens in Arrival can come out, but they don't. They have to be able to come out somehow because they got in the ship. Or the ship is their prison forever. They have to be able to come out. But they don't come out.
Guys, even if you have scissor lift technology, it's still inconvenient. Like, if I build a house, and then it's like, well, how do I get in the house? Oh, scissor lift. It's like, can we
just build a
make
staircase?
A hallway or a stairway to get up there? Why are we scissor lifting this? What is this? It's like, are you done with the house? No, we're done. Scissor lift. That's the way.
I don't understand it. I don't understand why these aliens stopped like 30 feet above the ground. Either just land and then make a little hole here people can walk in.
Right, and they can control gravity, so you could have a little ramp. People walk up the ramp, and then they walk up the ramp, and then they walk up like that.
Oh, just curve. Just make a curve.
Just curve it.
Like that Ninja Warrior, just the wall curve. Just walk it up.
What? So they're going around to a bunch of planets, and then in order to interact with the native species, they make it just a little bit challenging for that species to get into the ship.
They could have landed on top of a tree, just climb up the tree. What if they encounter
They could have landed directly on the ground, or hover an inch above the ground and just open up.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Wait, an inch above the ground means we would have to dig a hole to get in. That would also be annoying.
Well, I'm saying that. Okay, you hover above the ground.
Open up the door large enough. Okay.
A door of appropriate size and shape, so they can get in. Why are we doing this?
Why are we doing this? Aliens it's just mess with the humans.
Because
why?
Yeah, one of them is above water, so it's like, okay, humans, get on a ship. Or like a naval vessel, get a scissor lift or something on the naval vessel, and then
account for swells in the water, account for the tides. Like, why are we doing this?
Or the ship is like this on the water. People bring in a construction ship with the correct height, and they're like, whoop.
No,
we want scissor lift.
Can't reach me. It's like an older brother. They can't get your hat. Can't get your Let me get my hat. What are you doing? Hey aliens, I just want to talk to you. Why are you making this hard?
Wait, why are you making it annoying? Just straight annoying.
Straight annoying. That's right, because this is not some super advanced technology that they couldn't get, but you have to go get it.
Right, because in Starfleet or Star Trek first contact scenarios, civilizations wait for warp drive to show up, which is like, okay, that's a good test. Once they get the warp drive, then they're probably advanced enough in a lot of aspects to start the conversation. So it's like this big tech jump that is the gateway. But here, the gateway is scissor lift.
And have you developed scissor lift? Well, now you're ready for us.
Where you are ready. Do you have an accordion? It's not good enough yet. Didn't cross that threshold.
Not quite. Could you imagine being ridiculed by all of humanity, but then actually you're a cult? Got it right?
In North Dakota, 144 members of the St. Lawrence Pentecostal cult are feared dead after they set their compound ablaze. Their website claims the arrival of the aliens set in motion a prophecy.
What do you mean?
What I'm saying is, in North Dakota, there is this cult that said that when the aliens arrive, that sets forth a prophecy. And so they're a cult. There's a couple hundred people, and all the major religions and all the non-religious people are like, you guys are a cult. You guys are crazy. You guys are psychos. But in this cult's book, they have a book that they wrote whatever many hundreds or 2-3 years ago. They're like, on this date, there's going to be 12 ships that come down and they hover above our land and they don't quite touch and they don't do anything, but we have to go talk to them. And when that happens, then that's the end of days. And everyone's like, you crazy, like 12 ships, like, and they're not going to invade us. They're just going to hang out here. And you're like, this is what the book says. Like, look at my cult. And then they called it. They got it right. Like imagine the social the superiority you would feel. Like, hey, every billions of other people that think I'm wrong, and like, here, look at my book. I got it.
Gosh, it would be almost unbelievable inside the cult itself, where it's like this. There's the voice in the back of your mind. It's like, this isn't really going to happen, and then it happens.
And then it happens.
You'd be like, oh my god.
Like that's like my luckiest day. Like, yeah, some fraction of the people in the cult probably were like, I don't think this is actually going to happen. There is a book there. Like, I'm just kind of here for the vibes. Like, I'm just here to hang out with people. They got some sexy people. I'm hanging out. But then it actually happens. It's like it's in the book.
I'd be crazy. I mean, even if you like didn't consciously in the cult like consciously disbelieve it, you'd be like, it would just be so joyous,
right?
Because you'd be like, no, it's real.
Vindicated.
It's real. This is
real.
This is it. And then the leader's like, go kill yourself. And he's like, well, yeah.
Hell yeah, I'm right though. Because the people in cult, like usually their family is like, you're in a cult. Like, I can't handle this. Like, get away from me. Or the cult person is like a family. You don't understand what I believe in. I'm leaving. And now it's like, I threw away my family. I threw away my community. I was a part of a really awesome football team, and I left them. And I'm right. Got it right the whole time.
Okay, but here's a question. What are the chances that a cult on Earth would get it right? Because if it's a super specific prediction,
call your shot.
Yeah, you got to call your shot, but the chances of that happening are very low. Whereas if you have sort of a vaguer, like not so clear-cut prediction, you can't just be like, we got it right away, because it's vague enough that it's not so.
I see what you're saying.
So is there a balancing act between? Okay, so my question is, how specific is this prediction, and what are the chances that somebody on Earth would actually get it right? I think I'm gonna say it's pretty low, right?
So I don't know what the cult predicted in this movie. I assume that if they're going to kill themselves, they must have had a pretty good prediction and be like, "Oh, this is a clear sign." Because if it wasn't a clear sign, it's like, what would you like? There's going to be anywhere from 0 to infinity aliens that show up one day. Like I'm the cult leader. This is what I say. That's not a prediction. It's anywhere from 0 and infinite. That's not like, you got to give me a number. You got to give me like 12 alien ships. They're not going to land horizontally. They're going to land vertically and be all weird. Like, if you make that call and then I see it, okay, then I think you're right. Okay, let's do it. Let's drink the juice. But if it's a real vague prediction, then yeah, I mean, it's unfalsifiable. Then you're in a cult.
Well, see, the advantage of the specific prediction is that if it comes true, you're like, holy heck, our prediction was specific and it happened and we got it.
Clear sign.
However, it's hard to wiggle out of a bad prediction if it's specific.
Right.
You can't be like, well, I didn't mean 12 ships, I meant 0 ships. I didn't mean aliens, I meant
That's right.
the presence of God in the atmosphere. Like you
Right.
can't.
So
if
if there's
you can like wiggle out of it.
Right. So if you make a prediction for 11 and 12 show up, then now the cult leader needs to be like, ooh, like, there's some technicality on the ink where actually it was supposed to be 12. Like, and then the cult people are like, you're sweating there, dude. Like, I'm not sure
Yep.
I think you're BSing here. Right? But if you had a prediction that was loosey goosey from the start, you're like approximately a dozen. Well, 12 is approximately a dozen. 11 is approximately a dozen. There's like wiggle room where you could be wrong, but not so wrong that the cult's like, you're BSing me.
Right, so you could say multiple alien ships. That gives anything from 2 to infinity. You're good. You just, if one shows up, you're done.
Mm-hmm.
So that's covering a lot of bases.
Mm-hmm. Is this a primer for how to recognize if you're in a cult?
I mean, if you the vaguer the prediction, the more cult-like it might be.
Vague, but also consequential. Because you can't be like, you're going to have a hot dog sometime this year. Like, sure, I don't care. Like, yeah, sure.
Right. Although I do think there have been cults that have made very specific predictions about, like, the second coming of Christ will happen this day and this year. And somehow the cult leader's like, whoopsie daisy, it's actually happening 5 years because of a clerical error.
Oh,
and like they
the
keep
text,
pushing it.
Misread the text. Yeah. It's the human error, not the actual text. It's me.
So, gosh, if vague or not, if somebody had like aliens gonna visit on this year, just say those 3 things.
Woo, that's already
aliens
big.
Gonna visit this year, and they get it. Boom, boom, boom.
Mm-hmm.
Just those 3 things. It would be like, hallelujah. This cult is the cult.
Everyone joined this cult because they were right.
Let's graduate to religion. Let's go.
Yep, that's right. That's the only difference. Do we get more tanks? So this is inside the tent, and this is the main character, and she's looking at the oxygen status of the tanks. I guess there's only 6, but this is the U.S. Army. Can we get more than 6 tanks? Like, why are we concerned about the status of each individual tank? Just get 18, 24, get a whole bunch, and just rotate them in as you need them. What's going on?
So what you're saying is if there's 6 people, 6 tanks, that's not enough. You need 6 plus backups?
Plus backups. Okay. This is what I would do at minimum. So I have the 6 tanks that people are wearing as they're up in the ship, wherever they are.
Yeah.
Then they come down, they take off the tanks off their backpacks, they load them up in the oxygen tank refiller. And then that thing's counting. Okay. Like counting meaning like adding up however many molecules of oxygen. Okay. At that same time, you can immediately swap it out. So you have at least double for each person. So that we don't have to worry about like, oh, the tank station's not done yet. Like, no. We have another one that's ready to rock that was being filled while you were up inside the ship doing your science stuff. Okay. So you need at least 12. Okay. But I don't think that's still not enough, because what if there's a failure with one of the tanks? So that way you have one that someone's using and or being refilled. You have another one that's ready on deck, and then you have a backup to that one that you can swap if you need to. So there should be at least 18 tanks. And I feel like with the US military budget, we can get 18 tanks.
Okay, let me think about this. Maybe there are 18 tanks or some extra tanks, and these are the ones that are ready to go out. And we don't see the status of the other ones.
Okay. I like that thinking. I like this creativity. But what that means to me is that this is full because it's ready, and then they take it out, and then they like rewrite it as empty, and then they bring in a new tank from the locker outside, and they rewrite it as full. Like this is almost always full.
Oh, that's right. If it's in the ready position, like it's they're in the like the ready chamber where everybody's suiting up.
Yep.
And if there's tanks in there,
yep,
those should all be full.
Should already be full. There's no issue of like, I put on a half empty one. Like, oh shoot. No. Only the full ones in the ready chamber.
Maybe this is there's a guy, like the tank group, that's in charge of making sure the tanks are all spick and span.
True.
He goes in before the eggheads come in, and he checks each tank. And this is his little personal check. Full.
You know what? That is good. That is good because then you get a clear written. Somebody had to put in effort. There's no LED panel where someone flicked it and didn't mean to. You had to go through all 4 characters to write full. It's a safety guaranteed check.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe it's still such a pain, but maybe that's the point. Is put this little barrier in between, and if the eggheads walk into the ready chamber and this isn't filled out, okay, go ask somebody what's going on.
You know what? Actually, I do something like this. When I close my door to my home, I always close my door with my keys in the same hand because then you can't mess it up. So this is it's annoying. I'd rather just hook it onto my backpack or whatever. But this guarantees I have the keys before I lock the door. This guarantees oxygen tanks are full because somebody had to write it.
Right. And that procedure is really annoying when you've got something in your hands and you're like, do I have my keys?
But I've never been locked out.
I gotta put this down. Okay, got my key. Okay, pick it back up.
For mission critical stuff, if I get locked out on a Sunday, everything's closed. I'm owned. So
right.
Write it. Okay,
Maybe.
But there's still another problem that I don't understand from this movie. Because they say they have oxygen problems inside the ship, but can we just bring our own oxygen? We have tanks. We bring some oxygen tanks there and just open it up.
What do you mean?
So they say that the atmosphere is a problem. This one's carbon dioxide, but you can get one that's pressurized, just normal air. Or you can get one that's pressurized oxygen. I guess this one's helium. But we could just on that scissor lift and bring up a cart. And then load up these canisters, these cylinders. Bring them up there. Let's bring some air with us inside the ship.
Oh, I see what you're saying. So instead of having each individual person have their own tank, you could just bring a whole cart of tanks or some system that I guess you could just hook in with your suit or you just fill the chamber.
Just fill the room. Yeah.
Fill the chamber. Yeah. And it's so okay. So this is another one of those situations where at first they have the suits because they don't know what they're doing. But as they keep visiting, they're there's probably the tank team or somebody who's can we improve? Can we we need to be more efficient. Instead of wasting time doing all this stuff, we need, let's think of a cart system or something. They don't really improve.
Exactly. Weird. Over the course of several months, they don't make any advancements. And heck, even a simple one, this technology exists. Can we just get a hose that goes to the outside world and then just breathe in nice clean air from the outside world?
Gosh, that's right, because the scientist's time is very limited. They need to be focused on translation. So the less, if they just have to throw on a quick suit versus suit and tank and check and pressure and gauge and mouth and annoying. That's just wasting scientists' time. Get them in a simple suit where you can just and then hose in. Done. Time savings.
Time savings and gets them more time in the ship. And this technology exists. I know I used an aquarium deep sea diver, but this exists for going into shallow waters. You can just hook up a pump to the side and shove air into the guy's face. You can do that.
Right. That's so good because then you could have an air supply down below the ship that feeds it up, and then you could have a person down there monitoring, making sure everything's good. If something goes wrong, pull them out. There's not each individual person has to be trained up on supplies.
Yep.
So good.
I don't know.
Why aren't they making improvements? Weird. Something. These gauges get pegged. What are they measuring? Boom, look at that. Pegging out.
Wait, so first, what do you mean peg?
So peg is when it goes off scale. And I think it's because on these old analog scales, there used to be an actual peg right in there to stop the needle from going too far. So
so that's what pegging is.
I think so. That's exactly what pegging is.
Okay.
So these gauges, they go off scale. They peg. So,
right there.
Which is weird. Somehow the people running these instruments, I don't know who's in the chamber right now, have calibrated these so that the needle should be somewhere in the middle for the measurements they're doing. And then all of a sudden, there's a big a big signal that they didn't anticipate. What is this? What are they measuring?
Ooh, I don't know what they're measuring. I mean, I think it's just sound because there's like that rumbling in the background. We can listen to it again. Ready?
Ready? Yeah.
I think it's just the sound that the heptapods make. Although I don't know why. I mean, there's no what are the units in this thing?
So I see VU, which
nothing to me.
means voltage units. No, VU.
Little v, little u.
Okay, so first guess is I see a plus and a minus. The plus is red, the minus is black.
Yep.
To me, that means voltage, because typically I'm going plus minus with voltage. Typically, like what other measurements are there that I go plus minus like that? There's probably others.
I do length, like position. I don't know. Yeah, okay, but yeah, sure.
But I mean, okay, but position.
How about current?
It's like move your zero so everything's positive. You know, it's typically you can't get it for voltages. You have a ground, and if you want like a varying voltage, sometimes you go negative.
Okay, sure.
And it's hard to get around the fact that there's often two directions to voltage.
Okay.
It's just a guess. I mean, obviously,
yeah.
I don't know, but if this was position though, like the units, the tick marks are logarithmic. I do not want logarithmic position.
That is weird. That is super weird. The logarithmic thing. So this side is like nice and even.
Yeah,
the spacing.
It looks linear. Yeah.
And then this side is like 1, 2, 3, 5, 7, 10, 20. Like those are big jumps. These are they're inconsistent chunks, which feels like logarithmic.
I think it might be logarithmic. So negative, the black, is logarithmic and gets a little more real estate on the gauge. Positive is a linear scale and gets a little less real estate on the gauge.
Third or quarter, yeah.
And somehow the needle knows when it transitions, it crosses that zero line. Okay, transition to linear scale.
Oh,
maybe.
No.
Like, how does this instrument work?
Oh, not good.
What is it? Is this made up gauges for the movie?
I think so.
Or is this an actual instrument that I just do not understand?
I mean, I really want to say that it's made up for the movie, because otherwise whoever made this did not include units. And because there's the red section, there's a black section, and then there's the under black section.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what scale is this? Just 10, 20,
to be
40,
fair,
60, 80?
I've definitely used some devices where the units are not well marked.
You're talking about like old-timey stuff? Old-timey stuff where the units are like written on the back panel somewhere?
Yeah, stuff like that. Or not even there. They're just like, the user knows that given that with these jumps, that this is clearly millivolts. Like, I've seen that. So
okay. I hate it. Okay.
I hate it. Put it right there. Maybe that's the VU. Maybe the VU is the unit, and I don't know what
VU for variable unit.
No, it's an arbitrary unit.
No, not arbitrary.
Very. If anybody knows, let us know, because I can't make heads or tails of this just from the gauges we're looking at. Sometimes I can guess like what is being measured if I look at some limited information and be like, oh, that's clearly voltage, and I can see what's going on. This I can't. I don't. Can you?
I cannot tell. I see this is channel 2, which is meter trim. And then there's 30, 25, 25, 20, 15, 10, fourth. And then this is something rejection. I don't know.
I don't know. It's doing two things at the same time.
Output level. Link range.
Stereo? No. Strand? It's hard to say. I mean, they are measuring two different things because the needles are in different places. It's not the same measurement on two different gauges, which would be super weird.
Like this still happened to be, but yeah,
they're very close.
They're not always matched up.
Yeah, but they're not coincident there. So Okay, so
Input
that makes sense.
threshold master thing level, master
Okay.
input level. Something.
I don't know what they're
I don't
measuring.
know what this is.
I don't know what they're measuring.
Well,
if anybody knows, can't be sound. Can't be sound.
There's plenty of other sound measuring devices. Why would they use that?
Yep.
I don't believe her. I think this is too much to learn.
I don't want to take away from your success in it, but Dr. Banks, is this really the right approach? Trying to teach him how to speak and read? That's got to take longer.
You're wrong. It's faster.
Okay. What do you mean it's too much to learn?
Okay, so she says that learning to read something and to learn, so read a language and learn a language is actually faster than just trying to read alone or trying to learn alone. And I think that's right. I think it's right because then you can see how the word is written, and then you can pronounce each letter, and then you put it together, and you're like, oh no, I have heard this. Okay, I can connect the written word and the hearing word together, and I can get the concept better. So I think that's absolutely true, provided that there is a shared experience. So if somebody says like, the word for dog is perro, or the word for dog is hund, then I can say, okay, I know what a dog is. So I just need to attach a new word to it. And it's better, yeah, absolutely, it's better if I can see how it's written, because then I can attach the written word to the hearing word. But I still need that concept. I need to know what a dog is. So that way I can map the idea to the word. But here we are talking to heptapods. If you draw them a picture of a dog, they're like, I've never seen a dog. What are you talking about? All you've done is drawn a heptapod with not enough legs. Like what are you trying to get me to understand?
Well, I guess the shared experience could be bring a picture. Bring a picture. Here's a dog.
Sure.
Write word dog. Or literally bring a dog in here.
There's the shared experience. Like the act of seeing the dog and seeing how it runs around, plays like, oh, this is not a human. This is not a lunch meat. This is like an animal. Okay, I get it. Without that,
but I guess
then this doesn't. Even if you see human written, but you don't know that human reference the person, they're like, oh, well, okay, you've written a word for me. What is this?
Okay. So this right here bothered me because she writes human, but then, yeah, what does this word mean? She doesn't even draw a stick figure on there, like help out.
Help out.
Help out. Like you need to connect this to something. And she's like vaguely pointing to herself, like I'm here. Is you pointing to your suit, or you're pointing
to my suit? Is it your like your sex? Is it your gloves that you're like, oh, when I make this motion, it's an emotion. Like, I don't know.
And like this doesn't necessarily mean. I think she does one. They don't know that it means a point to the person. They don't know. That just means a gesture. There's lots of gestures that people do. It's so vague.
So there's gestures that people do that are culture dependent and can be offensive to other cultures because it's culture dependent. Okay, so and you don't like if somebody from another culture makes a gesture to you, you don't know if it's offensive or not unless it's like aggressive. Then it's like like a fist in your face, right? But that's a shared response. That's a shared culture, like a shared understanding of what feels aggressive to you. But between humans and a heptapod, like, do they know what human aggression looks like? Like how could they learn the language if they don't have that shared experience to map things onto?
I want to say you could eventually get there, but you'd have to build up that shared experience over time. And I do think starting with nouns is a good idea because you could go noun, picture, noun, picture. If you start out with like the idea of aggression, like it's abstract, like you don't know.
I just learned that there's a dog. Now I know that they have feelings. Like what?
Yeah,
Does that rock have feelings? No, it doesn't. Like what?
Yeah.
Does that insect
maybe. But I think starting with nouns would be good, or simple things.
Yep.
Would be good.
Mechanical pencil. And this thing.
Mechanical pencil.
It's simple. It's right here. Boom, boom, boom. Click, 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 click. Lead comes out.
What I would do is I would go back to the tense and be like, all right, let's create a system that we can show them our language. We'll start with simple things as much as we can, things that can be easily shown either with actual or in pictures. And it's like, they're like, you know what? Number one, let's go mechanical pencil. Let's go first.
Mechanical
number
pencil.
one,
Well, it's because it's
pencil.
like on the table in front of them. They're like, it is an easy object.
Easy
Like,
object,
they
mechanical
can't bring a
pencil.
internal combustion engine up in
Amplifies
there.
it.
Got to take it out of the
like,
car.
what?
How are you going to carry that? Mechanical pencil. You fit in your pocket. What's the problem with that?
Gonna confuse the heptapods. It's like, oh, I'm gonna learn about animals today or colors today.
Okay,
from the
okay.
human.
Let's think about this.
Like,
Let's
what
think about-
is that? What?
Oh, mechanical pencil. You guys have those too? Oh, that's awesome.
Those too?
Oh, shared
It's like,
culture.
oh my gosh,
Hey,
shared
hey, oh
experience.
my gosh.
It's
We're like the
universal.
same people from different places.
That would be wild.
It'd be wild.
How did you guys create a connection? Mechanical pencils.
Mechanical pencil.
Just- we clicked
oh.
together for 2 hours.
Well, that's right. Well, in other places on the planet, they were trying ballpoint pens. Ballpoint pens are very complicated. You got to have that right hydrostatic fluid, so that way it flows out, not too much, not too little. Complicated. Mechanical pencil, click, 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 easy.
Maybe that's why China wanted to start a war. They were
Right.
using ballpoint pens.
Ballpoint pens.
America went mechanical pencil, and they were just peace all day.
Peace. Understanding between different peoples from different planets. Pencil.
Right. Nothing is set in stone because we can erase.
Can you erase it? Where's the beginning? Where's the end? You can write around in a circle on the paper. Change it.
Oh,
Whatever you need.
Made a mistake. We were learning. We could erase and learn.
Oh, whereas with the pen, it's permanent. War.
That's right.
No going back.
No going back. Dr. Banks's arrow really annoyed me. Where's she pointing?
First, we need to make sure that they understand what a question is, the nature of a request for information, along with the
Where's that
response. We need to clarify the difference between a specific you and a collective you, because we don't want to know why Joe Alien is here. We want to know why they all landed. And purpose requires an understanding of intent. Their motivation so instinctive that they don't understand a why question at all. And biggest of all, we need to have enough vocabulary that we understand their answer.
Huh. Okay. I thought that at the end of 28 seconds, she would have explained why she drew an arrow out here.
Right.
But
the arrow's not.
she didn't.
I thought she was going to point to the what, because she was connecting the question to the word what.
That's
But
right,
she
because
goes
the question mark
beyond the
references
what.
this. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
She points
goes
out here
back,
it's
she's
just thermal something.
Which I assume is irrelevant to what she's doing. So why are we pointing to nothing?
She just
Wow.
maybe she knew that she was pointing to nothing. She just bluffed her way through the rest of it.
She's like, I got to sell them on this. Whatever. We're going to talk about
She's
it.
like looking somewhere else in the room. She drew their arrow, and then she's like, "Oh, I passed the what? Like time to stop it over here.
Time to stop. I'm pointing to the half erased math. What? Okay,
Yeah, which
so-
to the aliens they'd say, "What?" And then now you understand what the question is.
Nothing to it.
Like nothing here.
There's nothing there. I don't know what she's pointing at. Okay. The other thing that bothered me was she was like swinging wildly between like deep philosophical questions and like highly specific things to English.
Can you explain that a bit?
So like the highly specific thing to English is the collective you versus the singular you. And you does a lot of work in English that maybe we should have separate words, but we don't.
Oh,
It's
so
very
in other
specific
languages
English.
they have a you for one person, and they have a you for like a bunch of people, but there's actually just separate
Right.
words. So
Right.
it's clear from the start. I see, and in
some
English,
languages
our
don't
yous are mixed.
Yeah. Some languages don't even have that distinction. Some languages, they don't have like a plural singular distinction. Some languages have like, yes, but one for 1, 2, 3, 5, and more than 5. Like, okay, languages. But in English, we make a distinction between one and many, and our you is vague.
Right.
That's very English specific.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then she's like, but maybe they don't understand what purpose means because their instinct of purpose is so ingrained. They don't understand a why question. Like what? These are different levels of problems here. What are we talking about?
Yeah, this sounds like a disorganized mind on her end. Like she doesn't know
Right.
how to attack her problems. She's like wildly all over the place.
So he comes in with a question. She's like drawing arrows to nowhere, like wildly swinging between different levels of problems. And the army guy's like, I guess she's the genius.
Yep, you're saying some stuff that I don't understand, but you seem real confident in it. And I don't know what this arrow is out here, but okay. Like this is just a red herring. She like threw him for a loop, and he bought into it. For the rest of her discussion here, she's talking about some theoretical stuff, but he's still stuck over here in this arrow. And then so by the time she's done talking, he's like,
Yeah.
Guess you're the expert. Okay.
Yeah, he's like the double derivative of voltage? What is she talking about? What does that have to do with the question?
Know what that is?
But voltage.
I thought
with
this was some
respect to entropy?
thermodynamic stuff.
Yeah, I think it must be volume.
This is what
with
we're
respect
talking
to
about
entropy.
now. I think this is one of the thermodynamic potentials with respect to volume. Oh, volume.
Yeah. It's got to be volume with respect to entropy. But then it's 1/2 density squared. Some weird units on that. Oh, the density squared might cancel out the voltage. Sorry, the volume.
Volume.
And then the entropy cancels out with the entropy, and then you get a unitless.
I think this is unitless because ds squared and then s squared here. I think that cancels. But then you get volume and surface area squared. The 5-dimensional No, that's a 7-dimensional object.
I was thinking that was density. If it's density, it's like a 1 over volume.
Okay. But it's not the volumetric density. Oh, wait, no. Some people do use the sigma for volumetric density.
Yeah. So
I mean, I would have put a rho
I don't know
here
what
for
that
volume. This to me means surface density.
It does. It does for me too. But I have seen volumetric density be this sigma.
So actually, what her arrow did was make us think about what is this stuff, which is a question, which is actually accidentally educational.
Educational. There you go. So weird.
Good job, Dr. Banks. I would not have confidence in her command.
Dr. Banks? Hey, what are you doing? Insane?
They need to see me.
Is it okay? You're risking contamination.
They need to see me.
Dr. Banks. Dr. Banks. She's walking toward the screen.
Touch it.
Now that's a proper introduction.
So what's wrong with
good
this?
quip.
She took off her suit first, like a leader.
Okay. Yeah, like the leader walking people off a cliff. This is okay. Good quip at the end. That's an introduction. Very good quip. However, this is so dangerous. What is she doing? So I would, if I'm her underling, I would, as this guy does, think that she's losing her mind, like losing control, losing her grip on reality. You're inside this alien ship. You have all this protective gear because you don't know what the environment's like. And then she goes here and she's like, they have to see me. They have to see my face. They need to see who I am. Like, why do you think that? You have no idea. What are you going off of? You're just guessing.
Gosh, I think you're right. Because if they wanted to take off their suits, they wanted to take that risk. They need to discuss it first back at camp and be like, this is a risk we're going to take. We're going to take off the suit. And then everybody's on the same page. They can run contingencies and whatever. If she starts like, I need to feel seen in the moment, like doing crazy stuff, like I wouldn't be able to follow her.
She's the highest ranking person. She's like the leader of all the linguistics research. They need to give an underling this risk of taking off your suit. Because what if there's like poison gas in here? They die. She dies. The whole branch of the project is toast.
It's toast. That's exactly right. And she's so essential. Like in other parts of the movie, she's like, it's just coming down to me. So, like, what? If you're that important, you need to stay safe, which means keep your damn suit on.
Keep your suit on. And then she does this thing where she touches the wall. But what if this, you don't know the aliens. What if this was some type of telepathy contact thing? Like you gotta touch their skin first or touch their getting close proximity. And then after that, you get some mind control stuff going on. And now she's going back to base outside of the ship with mind controls like infected in her brain. Not good.
Right. Which means if you're going to do stuff like this, which look like little movements, but they're actually big decisions, get the team on it so that they can figure out contingencies after you've done it, like quarantine, monitoring.
Right. That's right.
You know, what do you do if she goes like, it's a seizure? What do you do? Like, think of all these things, and then you can run it. Right. You're part of a team. Plus, she shouldn't be doing it. An underling should be doing it. There's so many reasons.
I lose confidence. I would be like, who is this lady? She's going to get me into danger. Not good.
Right. In fact, actually, who is in command in this situation? Is it the military? Is she in command? Is it like, what is the leadership? It's actually not clear.
Not clear. Like, Yeah, so outside the base, we see that the colonel is in charge, even though I'm kind of surprised that a colonel, whatever. But he's outside. Who's in command here in this room? I don't know. I think
I don't know.
I mean, certainly nobody stops her.
Right, which is weird that the commander, the person in command of this group, is the one doing these risky actions. Because you need the commander more in the back with a clear view of what's going on as much as possible and calling the shots. So what the?
Weird. I would lose confidence.
Here we see this graph. What does it mean for a signal to be decomposed into frequencies? Let's go over it. Okay.
Yeah, what are we looking at?
What's that?
What are we looking at?
Yeah, so this graph here, we're hearing a sound, which I think is corresponding to this particular graph right here, as it pans into the screen. And we see over time, the frequency composition of the sound is different. It changes.
Okay.
But
so
how
we're
do we
hearing
get this
different
data?
stuff.
Yeah, we're hearing different stuff. So if you hear a higher pitch sound versus a lower pitch sound, you got different frequency components inside the sound, and that can be shown in graph form. And this is like the basis of so much science out there. It's crazy. It's the Fourier decomposition. So I think what they're, so if we can go over it, we measure a single sound over time. So the sound is a single wave.
First,
function.
like how is it actually physically measured? It's the reverse of a speaker is a microphone. You have this paper cone that gets pushed around by air pressure, and then it transduces a voltage that you read on your oscilloscope somewhere. But it's like a physical piece of paper being pushed around. And if it's like real consistent, that's a single frequency. But if you listen to like a blast of music, it's still like a piece of paper moving around, but there's just all sorts of jitters to it, I guess.
Yeah, and I guess as you measure this piece of paper and it creates a voltage output, there's a single voltage at each point in time.
Yes.
Right. There's no multiple voltages at each point in time. Just a single voltage over time. So you get this sound over time. Well, in this case, a voltage over time. That's a single function. And then what you can do is this thing called the Fourier transform, which is you transform it from this complicated single sound into, you build up a bunch of pure frequencies and add them together to build the original sound. And depending on how much of the pure frequencies are in there, you'll get different amounts of frequency. So if it's a high-pitched sound, you get more high-pitched pure frequencies in the sound. If it's a lower-pitched sound, you get more lower-pitched frequencies in the sound. And it'll be everything in between. You could have all kinds of mixtures of these frequencies. That is Fourier decomposition.
Oh.
It's complicated.
In a nutshell, very nice.
In a nutshell. So here, I think at a particular point in time, you look at the sound and you do a Fourier decomposition on it. And then you graph, okay, there's this much 5,000 hertz frequency and this much 6,000 hertz frequency. And if there's a lot, it's yellow. And if there's almost none, it's blue. I think that's what that's showing here.
Okay, so if I can understand this, in the vertical slices is measurements. So like this vertical slice here at 11.5 seconds is one measurement. And then another one here at 11.67 is another measurement. And then the fact that it's like there's a whole wide range of yellow, instead of being like a single point here at 7,000 of like yellow point, that means that it's not a single frequency. There's a whole bunch of frequencies added together, a whole bunch of different pitches, different sounds that are frequencies, different pitches, frequencies that are stacked on top of each other. That gets the overall result of whatever the aliens are making that sound.
I think so.
Cool.
And I guess it would be easy to pick out structured sound, which would have more localized frequencies that are yellow and more blue, versus one that's like mostly yellow is going to be like noisy.
I see. So like this thing here is like a strip there, a strip there, a strip there. There's some structure to these frequencies. So this is made by something mechanical, I guess, probably.
Right.
Whereas if you get these blurry stuff, it's like, where did that come from?
And it's probably more noise, I would guess. So,
and then you get these bright blips where it's like a lot of frequencies, which means probably a lot of sound. Whereas you get these dim spots or dimmer regions where it's like not a lot of different frequencies going on.
I think so. So it ends up being a great way to figure out what structure the sound has. In fact, this is what our ears do, right? We have those little hairs in our ears, each tuned to different frequencies. I think this is the way it works. And so you can, each hair picks up the different frequency, which then your brain adds them all up. And that's what you hear.
Like overall, the net result is, oh, that's my cousin.
Oh yeah, that's that guy I don't like. Shut up.
I can my brain Fourier transform is decoding that.
Decoding that you're a bitch.
You're a bitch.
Here, I just wanted to praise the director. This shot of the phone banks, it just tells us so much information about what's happening. It's so cool. So, for example,
please enumerate.
It's a temporary structure. It's a tent, which telling you it's a temporary assignment for everybody. They haven't quite built it out yet, but it's permanent enough that they've got a carpenter in here and they built out these nice desks.
With
put phones on them.
Even the detail, like rounded edges, like they know that people's faces is going to be near here.
That's right. So it's well constructed, but it's temporary. Then you also have like there's multiple phone banks and multiple people sitting at different phones talking to friends and family, whatever, which means this is a long operation. They're being there for weeks, months. So
that's right. Because if it's like a week, there's like just no contact. You go dark. We'll come back later.
Right.
But if it's going to be a long time, then you have to have people be able to talk to their friends and family. Otherwise, they're going to have psychological problems. I guess also I'm seeing that they have these like hard lines instead of cell phones. So these hard lines means that it's monitored by the government and not through your secret messaging app or something. And that seems right because you're at this like alien base with this alien landing, which there's going to be some heavy security.
That's right. So you're talking about, it tells us how temporary the structure is, what kind of deployments they have, what's the security situation, what kind of resources they're putting into this. And it tells you about like family. People are starting to miss people because there's lots of people talking to their family here. Like there's so much information just like conveyed visually here through like the set design and the shot. It was just cool. It gave me a cool vibe. That like, oh, this is actually, this feels real. Like this is how a base in a temporary location might actually feel.
With lots of meaning just built right into the picture.
Built right into it. Just great job. Great job by the director.
Dr. Donnelly has this test for what it means to be a scientist.
The chemical composition of their spaceship is unknown. The shell emits no waste, no gas, no radiation. Are they scientists or tourists? If they're scientists, they don't seem to ask a lot of questions.
Okay. What do you mean a litmus test?
I object to a litmus test is like this test that you can use that's very quick and easy. You can decide something to determine what it is.
Okay.
And so I object to that. So he says, if these aliens are scientists, they're not asking a lot of questions. And so that since they're not communicating to him what their questions are, therefore he interprets that as they must not be scientists. But if I'm a scientist, I'm like a biology scientist. I'm studying how the zebra migration patterns. I don't go up to the zebra and ask them what are their patterns. Like I have the questions. I don't tell them what my questions are.
Okay. So the doctor here, every time he's interacted with a fellow scientist, they always ask each other a bunch of questions, have these big, long discussions.
Yeah.
Okay. But you're saying he is not a fellow scientist to the aliens, potentially.
Right.
He's a test subject. He's a subject of their science, in which case they're not going to ask him any questions. They're just going to observe and, yeah.
Right.
Okay. But quick question. If you could talk, if a scientist who's observing the migration of zebra could talk to the zebra, it's using some like tech, hook up like a, and then it's like, I am zebra. Hello, how you doing?
I am zebra.
The scientist
we are
would
bored.
want to talk. I don't know. I had robot voice.
Yeah.
But wouldn't the scientist want to talk to the zebra?
I say yes and no. Yes, because if you could have a connection to the test subject that you could trust, you just ask them for the answers. Like that's fantastic. Like, why are you migrating here? Oh, there's a lion over there, and we know he lives over there. Like that'd be perfect. They tell you exactly what you just. That being said, I don't know if you could trust it because you're now including their perception into your study, so you're no longer objective with the scenario. Now, this is actually a problem which I highly respect the psychology and behavioral economic fields because their experiments are so complicated because you have to get past the human experience.
Yeah.
Whereas I can just count electrons. There's no opinions in there, just count the electrons. Whereas for these psychology experiments, you have to have like decoy, like fake over here, like a part of the experimenter team is there to like distract them. So that way you can like peel back the layers of how people interact with the world and see what they are actually thinking inside their brain. Super complicated.
So taking the zebra example, what you're saying is maybe you get a group of zebra and you talk to them, just normal.
Yep.
But then the zebra in the wild, you don't talk to them. Those ones you want to observe sort of without, I don't know what you call it, without tainting the results. You let them do their thing, but you don't. You stay away.
Okay.
So there's a big difference between there's a big difference between like talking to somebody you're studying and like having an actual study. Because if you give away the game to the test subjects, it alters the experimental outcomes.
I mean, ask someone in your real world life. Ask them like, I want to see if you fill up your water bottle first thing in the morning, and then they're like, why do you want that? You're like, I just want to see. Like, well, they're going to start behaving different now,
right?
So you cannot tell your test subject that they even are a test subject, not much less the questions that you're asking them or asking about them. Otherwise, you mess up the experiment.
So Dr. Donnelly here, he's like, they ain't talking to me like regular scientists, therefore they're not scientists. But he's not even considering that he could be a test subject. Like they're observing you and seeing what you do and not telling you you're part of a test or an experiment, because then you would know.
Right. And I like our zebra analogy because compared, like humans are to zebra as aliens with spaceships are to humans. We are the dumb things compared. I mean, sorry, zebras. Any zebras watching? We are the dumb things compared to the aliens.
Yeah. So it's a good test maybe for a human scientist, but it's a terrible test for other circumstances.
You don't know. You don't know what the aliens are doing.
Yeah, I agree. Dr. Donnelly says the alien ships leave no footprint and then describes a footprint.
Outside being able to see them and hear them, the heptapods leave absolutely no footprint. The air between the shells is untroubled by sonic emission or light wave. The shell emits no waste, no gas, no radiation. The chemical composition of their spaceship is unknown, assuming that the shells communicate with each other. They do so without detection.
So wait, what do you mean footprint? I think I understand.
Unless he means literal footprint, which it left no literal footprint in the ground. There's no like impact mark on the ground. If he means like a figurative footprint, meaning it has an impact on the place that it went to. We can see it. We can hear it. That's a footprint.
Like this is the shadow is the sun ray footprint. This is like it's blocking the sun, which means it's interacting with the sunlight, which means this is the footprint. The fact that you can see it is it's a visual footprint.
I mean, okay, the ships show up, 12 of them show up. It throws human society in disarray, riots, all kinds of social upheaval. If the aliens were to leave and be asked, "Hey, did you leave a footprint on that world?" They're like, "Nope, didn't leave a footprint."
You see anything on the ground? No, you don't. No, we didn't.
They're like, "What about those aliens? You made riot and you created social upheaval." They're like, "We didn't make a literal imprint in the ground. You asked about footprints. I don't know what you're talking about."
You're talking about like their alien regulations, the regulations groups. Like, did you leave a mark on this planet? Like, no, we didn't. Not a single mark. We didn't do it.
Didn't do a damn thing.
Did you get seen? Like, not a single mark, not a footprint. All the humans. Like, can we listen to the humans? The humans are all talking about the aliens. Like, you left the footprint. Here it is.
There it is. You left the footprint. It's like,
hey, has anybody tried to tap the ship? You know, ting 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 ting. Like, that's an interaction with the outside world.
That is. Yeah. I mean, that's one of the first things you would do if you went up in the little scissor lift would be like, ding, ding, just
ding,
sort of
ding,
run
ding,
your hand
can
over
I,
it.
Can I step on this? Ding, 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 ding.
Gosh, he says some other weird stuff. Like if he talks about the material, he can't determine the material, which is weird to me because my brain goes to how would I characterize the material that the ship is made of? The first thing I would do, because it's an alien ship, I don't want to like piss them off, is I would do a bunch of passive measurements.
So passive, like you're not like chipping off a piece. You just anything that I can measure without touching you.
Right. So one of the first things I would do is measure reflections of sunlight off of the ship.
Oh yeah.
And look for absorption spectra.
So you could figure out the chemistry of this thing, because each chemical element has its light that it preferentially absorbs. So then if the sunlight, which you could just look at directly, if the frequencies or the wavelengths are missing, then that's therefore what that thing is made out of.
Right. And since we know the characteristic wavelengths of all the elements, we could at least get like some kind of understanding of what elements are in the shell.
Yeah.
But I guess, right. But I guess what if the aliens were like, they're going to actively, like, the sunlight comes in and they just send out the sunlight back, like right back out.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's not going to be the sunlight right back out because it's black.
Right.
But
so if it was, then we could be standing over here, and if it sends the sunlight back out, we would just see the sun.
Right. Or I guess it could be like a mirror, like it'd be fully reflective if it sent it out, like depending on how they do it.
Then we should see the clouds or something. But the fact that we see it and it's dark means that there's a lot of wavelengths, at least in the optical regime, that we are getting absorbed, and therefore we don't see it.
Maybe, like I said, maybe they're doing some sort of like active camo where it's like the sunlight comes in, they absorb it all and send out some noisy signal that has no information. Okay, maybe.
That's cool.
So, I mean, it's not that mysterious. It's just like, that's tech that we don't have. But, okay, what else could we do?
Pretty cool.
What else could we do? I mean, you could chip. You could just get a little guy with a chisel in there.
Ding, 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 ding.
Get some little
take
dust.
Take a little piece.
I mean,
and then there's the whole slew of chemical analysis that I'm unfamiliar with, but you can like figure out what it is, chemistry.
Right. And I guess sound, you couldn't really tell much. Could you tell with sound? If you like put a speaker and a receiver, I guess you could do the same up to the hull and like emit a sound and then receive it. Emit a sound and receive it. Could there be like characteristics of absorption for different materials that you could maybe see? Maybe.
I think so. There's something about like the stealth bombers that does that. Like or is that audio regime, or is it only in the light wave? I don't know.
Well, I think okay. Yeah, so is there can you characterize a material in any way using sound? I don't think scientists today do that, but I don't know if I want to say it's possible, maybe.
I mean, I guess you would not. Okay, here it is. You would not get the chemical composition, but you could get some structural information. Say like on bats, they like echolocate, they can figure out distance. And also in there is you figure out like the texture. So if you echolocate into jello, that feels different. Like it's a different response than when you echolocate into concrete. Because the concrete gives a clear reflection. Like if you make a sharp snap gets bounced back to you in a sharp snap. Whereas if you get a sharp snap towards jello, it comes back muddied. You can get some information out of that ship.
Yeah, but I was thinking, what if I had like pure, like a nickel block and an iron block and a tungsten block, and
that's what I'm saying.
And I made them the exact same, and I hooked up some speakers and receivers to it, and I shot sound through it. Would there be like characteristic absorption spectrum?
Yes,
for the different metals.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Is that the different molecular structure has different tension between the atoms, and therefore different springiness. When you push it, how does it bounce back to the sound wave? And so you can check this. You can check this with like if you find stainless steel or aluminum or copper, and you know which three of them. You just go ding 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 ding. They will sound different.
So you could, if this is more active, maybe hook up a speaker, you could get some structural information, different things, but you might also be able to get some material information about the material the ship's made out of, if you're lucky, if it coincides with something you measured before.
You might also hit a resonance and just shake the whole ship to shit. Break the whole thing down.
Yeah, can I measure it? You turn on the speaker. Ding,
like, why did it falls apart.
The aliens didn't think of that.
Think about that. They didn't think about sweeping frequency. The whole ship is just shaking apart.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. And then I think the last resort is ding, 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 or like try to shave off some dust.
Yep.
Like capture the dust. Then you can put it into some spectral analyzer, X-ray thing, all kinds of things.
There's like chemistry stuff where like if you put in this acid, it takes out this element. You put in this base, it takes into this thing.
Right. So the fact that they can't characterize it at all. Did they even try? I don't know
at all. And then there's more active things, like you could bounce a laser off of it and see what comes back. But then also now you're like shooting stuff at the aliens. Like, I don't know if they like that. You don't want to start a war.
Not like that. I mean, if it's like a low power laser, it's like, like a lab laser, and you just shoot it, and they're like, it's war. They shot us. Like,
have you tried shooting a laser pointer at a helicopter? Don't do it. Don't do it.
Okay, that's because it disables the pilot.
Yeah.
But what if I shot a laser outside of the visual spectrum at the helicopter, bounce back? They didn't even know. Is it an act of war? No.
That's interesting. Because you can shoot a laser that's outside the visual spectrum that the eye will not respond to, but you can damage the pilot. Ooh, we should not talk. Let's move on to the next topic.
Well, I was thinking, okay,
this is getting dangerous
if
for us.
you do a little bit of aiming, you shoot it at the hull. You're trying to characterize the hull. You're not trying to damage the pilot. So you shoot it at the hull.
Oh, the hull's fine. Yeah,
little quick second. You get the absorption spectrum. Go back to the lab. I now know the enemy secrets.
Yeah, that's totally fine. That's
totally fine. I don't understand why China wanted to start a war. What?
China has confirmed that it's delivered an ultimatum at the Shanghai site. China becomes the first world power to declare war.
Wait, why do you not understand?
So an advanced alien civilization shows up to Earth. They got FTL drives, mysterious ships, weapons you don't even know. And China, on our little rinky-dink planet, maybe the most powerful thing we have is nukes. It's like, we're giving you an ultimatum. We're going to kill you if you don't stop. Like, what?
I mean, hey, if they're threatening and they need us to threaten back in order for us to understand each other, two people from different places, kind of making the right move.
It's like guys with bows and arrows sees a helicopter gunship. They're like, just you wait. Don't do anything dumb. I'll get you. It's like,
I mean,
I'm in a helicopter gunship. Like, I can kill you right now.
But Avatar 3 just came out.
That's true.
And so maybe China's move is to quick strike. Start out with the nuke right away, right? Because that's your best chance. Hey, stop messing with me or I'm going to nuke you. And then you go nuke right away.
Okay. If China is giving an ultimatum and decides to strike first, I do think you got to go nuke.
No escalation of like missiles and you go straight to nuke.
Because if you shoot missiles, then the aliens know they're hostile now. They tried to kill me. Then they can shields up.
Yep.
Whereas if you go nuke from the beginning, maybe you can catch them with their pants down and blow them up. Which means you got to do 12 nukes at the same time.
Simultaneously. Global coordinated strike. Maybe Morse code. Maybe Morse code to do that. So that way the aliens don't detect it.
Right. That's right. Maybe led by the United States.
That's right. Right.
They have loads of pickup trucks at the base. Maybe they can give an epic speech before they set off the nukes.
And they must have some type of computers running in these ships, because otherwise, how are they maintaining this hover position? Maybe you could give them a computer virus, like a digital virus that'll take out their floating devices.
So you upload a virus onto one of their ships, which then spreads to the other ships, and simultaneously set off the nukes. Yeah,
exactly. Maybe that's the move. And maybe China has that in plan already, and the U.S. is already coordinating with this. But China's like, you know what? We'll take the bad optics. We're good. Like, as long as the problem is solved, we're happy.
We're happy. Maybe. Okay. Yeah, maybe. And maybe they could make, instead not a sequel, not a prequel, but a simultaneous quel with the Jeff Goldblum story uploading the virus, which we don't see here.
That's right.
Maybe
that's actually what made the aliens go away. Heck, okay. Another strategy that humans could do is if you could lure them down to the South Pole, get them down to Antarctica, I think you could activate the predators.
Oh, the ones buried under the ice?
Under the ice, those ones.
Yeah.
Right? Because now it's aliens versus aliens, and we can be like, you guys duke it out.
Right, and that takes, actually, you know what? That takes the heat off us, because the predators are always hunting the most dangerous game.
That's right. What's more dangerous than having 7 legs? Not us, we got 2.
Right, we're like, don't hunt us, heptapods.
Heptapods.
Do it. So all we got to do is lure the heptapods down to Antarctica. 2 birds.
2 birds, 1 stone. Get it done. Then we nuke them all.
And then we nuke them all.
Dr. Donnelly has some built-in assumptions, which I think makes his data invalid.
Right here. Stop focusing on the ones. Look at the zeros. How much of this is data? How much of it is negative space? So I measured it. 0.0833 recurring. Perhaps you'd like that as a fraction. 1 of 12.
Okay, what's the problem? 1 of 12. Got a good fraction right there.
That's a good fraction. Nice, evenly divisible fraction. And then coinciding with the 12 ships that are still floating around. Okay, the problem is he does this real data versus empty space, which I like. I like this a lot. But the problem is that makes sense for non-physical data. So if I make everything into just ones and zeros that don't correspond to like a physical volume element, like a physical object. So here in his data, he says like, look at all the data, and then I'm going to map out the negative space. But that depends. That depends on his assumption of the volumetric pixel, the voxel, that he's assigning for these dots. Because imagine if he made this dot huge. If he made this dot huge, then the empty space would be tiny.
Okay. But wasn't he given the size of the dots because it was actually the circles? Like the dots was like they like just a bunch of circles all over the wall.
Yep, that's the word.
Yep. And then like there's small circles and big circles. So doesn't the volume correspond to those sizes?
Yes. So there's relative volumes. Okay. First of all, if I remember, the aliens only write circles in one size, which means which is required in order to interpret this as this big ring is close, this small ring is far. Like it must be some fixed ring size. So when it's small, it's far away.
Okay.
And that's how you get this structure out here. But that still doesn't address my concern that this particular dot, this dot right here, if you just drawn it big, then the empty space would be smaller. But of all the dots, we're all scaled bigger. Okay. Instead of being like 2 pixels on your monitor, like every dot's going to be represented by 8. Well, then the remaining number of pixels that are empty, that are just off, that are black, are going to be smaller. And so then you don't get this nice ratio that he's like looking for, 1 of 12.
So he took each circle, which is like written language, and assigns a volumetric space to it, which is a dot on his little graph there.
Mm-hmm.
And the size of that dot, well, he hasn't actually drawn the circles. So he's assigning each circle a position based on depth because of the size and where it is XY. But then where does he get the volume number to assign to that dot is what you're saying. Like it's arbitrary.
He made it up.
So he's like, I could assign this much volume to each dot or this much volume to each dot. And he's like, I'm going to 112. Look at that right there.
Oh,
that's
1 over 12. Oh my gosh. Oh, revelation. I'm going to present it dramatically to my coworker. I'm the scientific leader. I came up with this 1 out of 12 thing.
Yeah, gosh, it gets worse the more you think about it, because it's not like the aliens are like, alongside their array of writings, they're like, here's a volume size if you were to do this calculation for you. Here you go. It's a number assigned to each one of these. Like relative. Okay. What's the total volume he's using? Is he using like this cube that envelops all of, or is he using the convex hull? Like what is he using?
Okay, so here's the cube, which I'm totally okay with, because if you're going to make a 3-dimensional array in a computer, you're going to have like 0 to 1,000, 0 to 1,000, 0 to 1,000, ends up being a cube. This convex hull, that you told me about this before, convex hull is like...
It's the minimum volume that encompasses all of the dots without any concaveness.
Oh, so it's kind of this thing, this blurry stuff?
Yeah, that's the convex hull. It like envelops all of the dots, but it doesn't... It's like as circular as possible while enveloping all the dots.
So it's a soccer ball, and you're not allowed to have like a concave, like a smushed in section. It needs to be always outward.
That's right. Actually, that's a good... You take all the dots, and you have a soccer ball that's like a thin film, and you suck all the air out, and the thing compresses onto the dots.
Okay.
It's not
yeah.
allowed to suck in, but it's like, what is that volume? Is that the volume he's using? This like fantastically strange shape.
Yeah,
he's like, that's
a
my
good point.
denominator.
Yeah. This is gonna be over 12 now. I'll make the volume whatever I need it to be, such that my ratio is 1/12.
He's like hunting for something, like any number. He's
hunting for
he's
scientific relevance because she's been dominating everything.
All right, so my ratio of negative space to positive to volume is based on data space is based on an arbitrary volume size, an arbitrary like total volume size, based on a smattering of like writings
of two-dimensional objects which I converted into 3D.
Convert into 3 somehow. It's like if a kid on like the refrigerator has those like letters that he can rearrange.
Yeah.
And you look at it, you're like, 1/12.
1/12.
If I assign these volumes to these letters and I assign this as the total space, then 1/12.
And I consider the side of the fridge as well, but only one of the sides. 1/12.
1/12. There it is. So your theory is he's feeling irrelevant because she's making all the big progress. And he's like, I gotta find something. I gotta find something.
Right.
Academic fraud, anything. Get me ahead.
But it worked out. Right?
It worked out. I mean, he did also get with her, so.
That super worked out. That's the best type of worked out possible.
Right. There you go. Are the heptapods the prophets of Bajor? Crossover.
The weapon is their language.
So we can learn heptapod.
If you learn it when you really learn it, you begin to perceive time the way that they do. It's non-linear.
Past? Things that happened before now. You have absolutely no idea what I'm talking about.
What comes before now is no different than what is now, or what is to come. It is one's existence.
Then for you, there is no linear time.
Yep, that's the same thing.
Same thing, right? So
that's
somehow the heptapods like they live in all of time, or some sort of not now, but some sort of smearing of time.
Future, but the past, but yeah.
And so do the prophets of Bajor. Is this humanity's first encounter with the prophets of Bajor? It's got to be.
Right. I think that's right.
We thought it was Cisco, but nope. These guys.
We thought it was Cisco because we have a linear time, but actually, these guys, the heptapods don't care.
They don't actually. I mean, they're experiencing interacting with Cisco and interacting with these guys at the same time, whatever that means. They're sort of simultaneous. It's non-linear.
This is all part of the Star Trek universe. Heck yeah.
I mean, actually, kind of nice. And they're in Montana. That's where First Contact happens. It's all come together.
First Contact was actually Second Contact. First Contact was actually here. Prophets of Bajor.
I mean, to be fair, in Star Trek, there's a lot of first contacts because they're always going back in time. Like the Borg came and different things came, but like humanity didn't know about it as a whole.
I see. This is an unofficial First Contact. Doesn't count.
Doesn't count. The first contact.
First. Yeah, that's how we code it. one prime.
One prime.
Cool. That's our video.
I think that's it.
See you
that's
next
our
time
video for Arrival.
For
See you next time for whatever movie we do next time.
Next time.